today, since really I'm due to put out two breastfeeding classes, one for post and one for prenatal, that I was going to do one. Pretty much this video is going to be for both pre and post. And the reason for that is the topic. So the topic is about your milk and its capacity, I want to say, and but also its ability to change as your baby grows, and also it actually changes as to what your baby needs. For instance, when the baby's born, you have probably heard about the fact that you have colostrum. And colostrum is, we call it liquid gold because it's got a consistency like honey. So it's really hard to like pump because it gets kind of stuck in the tube parts. And it's just filled with antibodies, sort of like the baby's first immunizations, because all the viruses that you have, all your antiviruses, I should say, all your antibodies, all those are going into the baby. So even, I used to tell moms, even if they don't plan to breastfeed, to try to breastfeed at least once or twice while they have their colostrum, because it is so beneficial to the baby. Now, okay, with colostrum, a lot of times moms feel that they don't have milk yet, and they feel that until then they'll just give formula. But the way the breast is designed is the baby that is born will be the one to kind of put in the order for milk, how much they need. It determines how many babies mom has, how much milk they're going to drink at a certain time, how much they're going to drink, that kind of thing. Now, colostrum is also designed so that the baby, while the baby's learning to suck, swallow, and breathe at the same time, it provides the baby everything the baby needs nutritionally in just one drop. So as that baby is feeding, even if they don't feed for very long, or they're having trouble latching and getting that milk out, every little drop is powerful for that baby. And when you think of the size of the stomach when the baby's born, you'll realize that just a few, drops of your colostrum is all that the baby's going to take in, especially on that first day. So the body knows that the baby's got to learn. It knows that the baby's going to sleep a lot after birth. We're designed so that as the baby's learning, and every time the baby's awake and has, they might just suck for a couple of seconds and then are asleep again. The body knows that during that period of time, it needs strong, powerful milk. Milk that will carry that baby over until the baby is ready to eat, usually about 8 hours, 10 hours after birth. So after that, then the baby will start really drinking a lot of that colostrum, and they're going to be putting in the order, so to speak, letting the body know, I'm born, I'm 1, 2, 3 of, however many babies the baby, that you have. It's saying, okay, I'm going to eat every 2 hours, or I'm going to eat every hour and a half. So it's giving the body, directions, basically. This is what you need to provide. So by day 3 or 4, your milk increases. We used to say that the milk comes in by day 3, 4, 5. But in reality, that somehow implies that the milk is not there. And that would be false, because there is milk there. So now we've tried to change it to when the milk increases by day 3, 4, or 5, because then it increases. You still will have colostrum, but you'll start to see it lessen and lessen. So the tint of the milk with colostrum is yellow, and pretty much it just depends on what you're eating. Milk is going to, the more mature milk is going to be whiter. It might have a blue consistency or a green consistency, just depending on what you've eaten. But naturally, when you would compare it to the colostrum is going to be yellow, and your milk is going to be sort of a white color, blue color, kind of bluish tint. So That's kind of really, really important, especially for moms out there who are pregnant and they are concerned. Is my milk going to be there as soon as the baby's born? Or maybe they have the colostrum already leaking and they want to know if that's normal, which it is. And then some people who don't have leakage want to know if that's normal, and that is. Um, a woman can have leak her colostrum early on, or she can never feel it, never see it, never experience whether it's there or not. So both is normal. You don't have to worry about, the whether it's there or not. Now, yes, there are some cases where a mother may not, and may be delayed. The milk might be delayed a little longer. So in those cases, she would need a little bit of help. And I always say, a mother should listen to her intuition. And if you feel something's wrong, I mean, really, really internally feel something's wrong, then, definitely you should be listened to. But if it's just, like you just feel that you're not confident enough, that's a different story. Being confident or needing confidence versus something is not right. I just know something isn't right. There's a difference. So you need to learn what that difference is. And you know what? Even if you're not sure if it's just low confidence or really something to worry about, just look for diapers. That's really the easiest thing you can do. Yeah, you could, weigh the baby. You could take the baby in to see a lactation consultant. You could try to pump, but the pumps will never get out the milk that the baby can. So you can't really justify using a pump to tell you how much milk you have. Diapers are simple. They're easy. You're going to have them already right there at your disposal. So you're going to pull out each day. The baby should go through one, per however many days they are old. So that goes from 1 to 6. So 1 diaper on the first day, 2 diapers on the second day, 3 diapers on the third day. Then by day 6, you're just looking for 6 diapers a day. And I guarantee you that will be easy to know without even having to time it, because you're going to pull out those 6 diapers, and pretty much every time you feed, you're going to be changing a diaper. So if you're feeling like you're only feeding like 3 times and changing 3 diapers, then there is a problem. But let's say you're feeding, maybe you don't feel like you're feeding long enough, but you're seeing over 6 diapers, then the baby is getting what they need. So basically every 2 to 3 hours is like the longer period, but the baby can actually feed every 1 to 3. So that's also normal. So if your baby wants to eat every hour, hour and a half, that can be normal as well. At first, it can take them a little while at the breast. Also, they could feed and then sleep. So you got to try to find ways to keep them awake, which is in a whole nother video. So that's what I wanted to explain. So that's the first notice or change you're going to see in your milk. Then as the baby grows, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, the baby's needs change. When they were really little, they needed more fat and more consistency, that when they aren't nursing that great, they get everything they need quickly. It's going to change to a thinner milk, and the consistency is going to be different. You're going to see different probably fat levels. You're going to see different antibodies, all that kind of stuff, because the baby's changing and growing, and so is the milk with it. Then another big change of milk is at 6 months. So the consistency is going to change a lot at 6 months and from then on, because by 6 months, the baby is going to start being introduced to solids. So the more solids they begin to have, the less milk will be the main need. It will become a supplement, whereas food will become the main need. Now that's not at 6 months, but at 6 months is when it will start to change, because you're going to start adding just a little solids, still going to be dependent a lot on the milk for the next couple of months, but by 10, 11, 12 months, you're going to find that your feedings are more supplements, like putting the baby to sleep and a secure feeling, and nap time, bedtime type feeds. But you're going to be noticing that you're going to be feeding a lot, or that you're going to be feeding a lot more solids, let me say. So, okay, I watched a video this morning that this is what kind of like determined to me what I was going to teach, what class I was going to do this week. and that I was going to do it for both. So a mother who normally pumps throughout the day as well as feeds on the breast, but she pumps every day, probably for storage in the freezer, which is a very, very good idea. So at night, she pretty much breastfeeds all night, and she doesn't pump at night. She just will pump during the day. So during the night, she was feeding the baby, and the baby was getting really stuffy. She said she could hear, she was sneezing a lot. She could tell that the baby was getting sick. So the next morning, she pumped the milk, or what? Maybe it was the night, the right before that night. But by the next morning, when she looked at the milk difference between the day before and that morning, it was a huge difference. It looked like colostrum. It had this colostrum look. So what that is if you've ever looked at your breast, your areola around the nipple, mainly like really close to the nipple area, you see a lot of like little bumps. And the breast that area sort of works like a vacuum. When the baby is sucking to eat, that area kind of sucks in some of the baby's saliva. And as it does that, it tells the body that this is what they're seeing in the baby's milk. And in this case, they saw a virus, just a cold, a normal cold virus. And it just sent in a bunch of antibodies to fight it. So the baby had this strong system to fight it if mom fed it. So here you see a very clear reason why it's good to breastfeed your baby, and that your milk really does change according to your baby's needs. And if the baby's on the breast, that is why a baby's got a little more benefit difference than a mom who strictly pumps. Because if that mom strictly pumped and she didn't breastfeed, the body would not have known the baby was sick. So having the baby to the breast, the body sucking up some of that saliva so that it could read in the saliva what the baby is exposed to, what the baby might have, in their body, and what that baby needs, what they're lacking, and the body, your body provides it. And that's an amazing, amazing thing as a mom to know that you have this ability, that you were created with this ability to feed your baby and take care of your baby. You didn't need medication. You didn't need, back when they didn't have any of that stuff, they had to find other ways, of course. But breast milk is really, really important. And in certain countries, it's even more important because of the things the baby is exposed to. So just a really cool little tip that I wanted to share, and I'm going to post the video below so that you can take a look at it yourself and read what I don't know if it was a video or an article. I think it was just an article, but I'm going to post it below so that you can read it and see what, it has a picture, so you'll be able to kind of see the difference. It's really, really cool. So that's it for today. That's what I kind of wanted to talk about, just explaining how your milk changes according to your baby's need. Okay, yeah, a mom may not be able to do that, and mom will take care of her baby no matter what. So that isn't a judging or make you feel bad kind of thing. But if you are breastfeeding, or you're considering breastfeeding, or maybe you do put the baby to the breast, but you're not sure you really want to continue kind of thing, this can be very encouraging to you. And just knowing that it's something only you can give your baby. You have that capability. And in a world where it seems that women are dominated by man and thought of as weaker or unable to, they need a man, think about the fact that in this case, if it wasn't for you as a woman, this man species would not continue. And if you have a baby that's very ill and your body is feeding that baby and taking care of that baby, that's a power that you have, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful, and we should appreciate it. And I think that it will make breastfeeding so much easier for you, or make the decision so much easier, especially when you look into your baby's eyes and you just know this is what you want to do. So that's it. You guys have a great day. I will see you next week. I hope you are all well and doing fine. Please continue to watch the videos, pass them on, share them, and subscribe. You guys have a great day. Bye.